Tom Plaster, baseball. Tom Plaster is a self-described sports nut and chose officiating as a way to stay connected to his passion. He has officiated baseball and football for the IHSA for over 30 years and also spent some time on the mat in wrestling. Tom has worked multiple state series assignments throughout his career in both sports, including working his first baseball state finals this past spring. His football crew has also worked 2 IHSA state championship games as Tom represents the Fox Valley Blues, Black Hawk Officials Association, and White Pines Officials Association on the diamond and gridiron. Tom has been supported in officiating by his wife of 32 years, Lorraine, and their 3 children, Scott, Amanda, and CJ. They also have 3 grandchildren and reside in Freeport, while Tom crosses the border into Wisconsin to work as a materials logistics manager for Precision Drive and Control. Dave Gilliand, boys basketball. Dave Gilliand's lifelong love affair with high school basketball began when Illinois saw him officiate his first regional contest as a 20-year-old college student, then go on to win over 250 games as a high school coach, before reaching the state finals as an official 3 years ago. Dave has officiated 4 different IHSA sports during his career and is a member of the White Pines, Rock River, Black Hawk, and Galesburg Officials Associations. A member of the Northwest Illinois Hall of Fame, he has been selected to work the IHSA boys basketball state finals twice in his career, including the Class 1A state championship in 2019. He has also worked a multitude of other state series and holiday tournaments. Dave and his wife Gail reside in Stockton, and he is retired after spending 38 years working in education, starting as an English teacher before ascending to principal and eventually becoming superintendent of the Spoon River Valley School District and then the Stockton School District. He also founded the Stockton Education Foundation and was honored with WBBM TV's Thanks to Teachers Award in 1995. Randy Wilson, girls basketball. Randy Wilson coached an 8th grade travel basketball team his first year out of college and was encouraged to try officiating thereafter. He recalls that after a few games, he was completely sucked in and is now approaching 30 years of reffing basketball for the IHSA. Randy has worked postseason IHSA contests for over 20 years, including being assigned to the IHSA Girls Basketball State Finals in 2019 and again in 2022, working championship games both years. He is a member of the AOA and the GCA-COA and has served on both organizations' board of directors in the past. Randy resides in West Chicago with his wife Leslie and son Michael. He works as an IT security manager at the Park District Risk Management Agency. He is a U.S. Marine and remains active in veteran affairs, while also serving as an election judge and previously as a civil service commissioner for the West Chicago Police Department. Lori Wager, cheerleading. When Lori Wager began coaching high school cheerleading in 1995, she was not only determined to learn, but also to teach her athletes the rules of cheer. She felt that officiating was the best way to achieve that goal and started to work meets as an official whenever her team wasn't participating. Lori was assigned to work her first IHSA state final as an official in 2007 and has worked 8 more state meets since that time. She served as an NFHS rule interpreter and IHSA cheer clinician since 2015 and has also officiated high school cheer in Indiana, Missouri, and New Mexico, as well as for IESA, ICCA, and UCA. Lori resides in O'Fallon and has been supported in officiating by her sons Austin, Logan, and Tyson. She currently works as the social media coordinator at a home decor gallery in O'Fallon after a decorated career as the cheer coach at Muscuda High School. David Steyer, cross country. David Steyer's love for cross country began when he ran for legendary coach Mike Johnson as a student athlete at Porta High School, culminating with running in the state meet in 1981 and 1983. He went on to coach at Williamsville High School, but had to step away as he worked on his master's, which led him to turn to officiating. In addition to numerous regional and sectional cross-country assignments, David was the starter in the Class 3A state meet in 2015, the assistant state final referee in 2016, and the state meet referee in 2017. A member of the Illinois Track and Cross Country Officials Association, he is also a state final official in track and field. David resides in Sherman with his wife of 32 years, Melissa, and they have a son, Gabe, and a daughter, Abby, while also welcoming their first grandchild in February. After over a decade teaching at Williamsville, David spent over 2 decades teaching at Porta before retiring in May. Christina Erickson, dance. Christina Erickson fell in love with dance at a young age and went on to be a championship coach with the Stevenson High School dance team for 7 seasons before stepping away to focus on her growing family. But she couldn't quite shake the dance bug completely and began officiating for a few organizations before licensing with the IHSA in 2013. Since that time, she has worked multiple sectionals before being selected to serve on the IHSA State Final Panel in 2021 and 2022. Christina previously served as an IHSA State Final broadcast commentator and is active in the leadership of the Illinois Dance Officials Association, where she is the mentor for new officials and served as the interim president last year. Christina and her husband Kurt reside in Mundelein with their dancer daughters Ava and Lauren. Christina teaches family and consumer science at Stevenson High School and also does costume design for dance teams. She finds officiating to be incredibly rewarding and treasures the friendships she has made through the vocation. Donald Hackler, football. Donald Hackler was recruited by his friend Keith Rigdon to join his football officiating crew in 1980 while one of the members of the 4-man crew took some time off. That started a love affair with officiating that now spans nearly 90 total seasons. Don's crew reached the officiating summit of high school football in the state when they were selected to work the Class 1A state championship game in 2019. A 3-sport official, he is a member of the Eastern Illinois Football Referees Association and the Champaign Officials Association, and is also a state final official in track and field and has worked sectionals and cross country. Don was also named the IHSA Official of the Year in girls track and field in 2017. Don is retired as a math, PE, driver's ed, and health teacher at Georgetown Ridge Farm High School and resides in Ridge Farm with his wife Lisa. Don and Lisa have 2 daughters, Jill and Molly, as well as 5 grandchildren. Don gives back to his community in a variety of ways, including singing in the Vermilion Grove Friends Church, and he is currently the president of the Georgetown Agricultural Fair. Don and Lisa enjoy spending time with family and friends. They travel many miles on the road to watch their grandchildren in the various sports and activities they participate in throughout the year. Zach Crandall, boys gymnastics. Zach Crandall has served as an IHSA boys gymnastics official since 2007. He worked his first state final in 2021 and continues to officiate in the regular season and postseason. Zach resides in Arlington Heights and works as a teacher in District 214. Annette Nosek, girls gymnastics. Annette Nosek has been involved in gymnastics for over 47 years as a competitor, coach, gym owner, parent, and of course, as an official. She spent 7 years as a high school gymnastics coach at Willowbrook High School and began judging in 1984 to better understand the rules. A member of the Illinois High School Girls Gymnastics Judges Association, Annette was named the NFHS Girls Gymnastics Coach of the Year in 2015. She has worked the IHSA State Series numerous times in her career and also officiates for Special Olympics. Annette and her husband John reside in Lombard and have 4 children, Nicholas, Michelle, Natalie, and Elizabeth, as well as 2 grandchildren. She is the manager of Fox Valley Gymnastics in Aurora, where she oversees a trio of gyms, including one that is Spanish-speaking only, as she works to provide access to gymnastics to all populations. Brian Larson, boys lacrosse. Brian Larson's passion for lacrosse continues to this day as not only an official, but also as a player on the Milwaukee Muskies Senior A box lacrosse team. He first began officiating lacrosse in 1997, but then transitioned to a 12-year tenure as the head lacrosse coach at Stevenson High School. After 12 seasons leading the Patriots, he ultimately returned to officiating in 2015. Brian was selected to work the inaugural IHSA Boys Lacrosse State Finals in 2018 and received state assignments again in 2019 and 2021, working the title game in 2019. He also officiates collegiately and is a member of the RVOA and the GLLOA, the latter naming him its Official of the Year in 2017. Brian works as a school social worker at Grays Lake Middle School and resides in Salem, Wisconsin with his fiancée Tiffany. He is the proud father of daughter Serena and son William. Patrick Fajardo, girls lacrosse. Patrick Fajardo felt like officiating was a natural extension of his former career as an Illinois State Trooper. He has officiated football, basketball, and lacrosse for the IHSA and quickly distinguished himself as one of the state's top girls lacrosse officials. An IHSA lacrosse clinician and U.S. lacrosse certified trainer and observer, he has worked the postseason in each season since the IHSA began a state series in 2017, including being selected to work the state finals in 2021. His devotion to the sport includes membership in IWLUB, AOS, and U.S. Lacrosse, and he has also helped implement a junior girls lacrosse referee program. Patrick and his wife Mary Kay Sassetti reside in Schaumburg and have 3 children, Patrick Jr., Catherine, and Grace, as well as 1 grandchild. He works as a senior commercial underwriter for Country Financial Insurance and enjoys traveling to Europe. Rick Birkelball, softball. After Rick Birkelball's sons finished their respective athletic playing careers, Rick missed having a steady stream of games to attend. He remedied that by licensing as an IHSA official in 2005 and has had more than his fair share of games to cover in softball and basketball ever since. After a steady stream of postseason work throughout his career, Rick worked his first IHSA softball state finals in 2021, a feat he had previously achieved multiple times with the IHSA. He has also worked at the sectional level in basketball, while he is a past winner of the BNOA Allen Russell Memorial Award. Rick and his wife of 41 years, Jackie, have 3 children, Adam, Brett, and Cale Kaylee. They reside in Bloomington, and Rick is retired after spending 41 years as a fleet mechanic for Frontier Communications. Doug Neufeld, boys soccer. To this day, Doug Neufeld is still playing soccer 3 times a week, but it was coaching his son's 5-year-old team that initially drew him into officiating to better understand the rules. He enjoyed the challenge and eventually left coaching behind to license with the IHSA in 2011. Doug has enjoyed a quick rise to become one of the state's most respected officials on the pitch, working his first regional in 2013 while adding a state final trip in girls soccer in the spring of 2021 before working the Class 2A Boys State Championship match that fall. He is a member of the IHSA Advisory Committee and also officiates the sport for U.S. Soccer and NISOA. Doug has 3 children, Zach, Jenna, and Jess, and resides with his partner Cherish in Roselle. He works as the Director of Safety and Security for Eastern Airlines and produces award-winning craft beer from his home brewery. Hannah Shehaber, girls soccer. Hannah Shehaber's high school coach recognized her passion for the game and encouraged her to start officiating while playing and going to school. She heeded that advice, licensing with the IHSA in 2006, and has ascended to become one of the state's top officials, crediting the mentorship of John Anderson in part for her success. An IHSA soccer clinician, Hannah has combined to work 6 boys and girls state final tournaments thus far in her career, including becoming the first female official to work the center official position in a state championship match in 2018. Hannah is a visible advocate in the officiating community, as she has been featured in an NASO Say Yes to Officiating commercial, was invited to speak at the first ever U.S. Youth Soccer Diversity and Inclusion event, and has been published multiple times in Referee magazine. She also officiates collegiately for NISOA and for the U.S. Soccer Federation. The Chicago Ridge native enjoys travel, food, family, and charitable work in her free time. Dennis Yard, boys swimming and diving. Dennis Yard saw the need for more officials in the swimming and diving community and answered the call. He first licensed as an IHSA official in 1999 and is now approaching 25 years of service. A member of the Illinois Swim Officials Association, Dennis has worked all positions, including the diving panel, at IHSA sectionals, and the IHSA state final meet during his time as an official. All told, in his career, he has been selected to work the state finals 14 times, including the boys' state meet 6 times. He also officiates swimming and diving for the YMCA and collegiately for the NCAA. Dennis resides in Dixon and is retired after a career at Pioneer Hybrid Seed International. He and his wife Cheryl have 3 children, Brian, Aaron, and Nikki, as well as 6 grandchildren. Dennis has been involved with charitable efforts such as Habitat for Humanity and was a board member on the Galesburg to Peoria St. Jude's Run. Glenn Gabriel, girls swimming and diving. Glenn Gabriel's children first got into the pool at 6 years old and it took Glenn just 6 months to follow suit by becoming a licensed IHSA swimming and diving official. Glenn has had a sectional assignment every season for the past 20 years and served as the state final diving referee for 3 times thus far in his career. He also officiates water polo, a sport in which he serves the IHSA as a rules interpreter and clinician, while holding membership with the Illinois Swim Officials Association, USA Swimming, and USA Water Polo. Glenn was the ISOA Rookie of the Year in 2003 and the organization's Official of the Year in 2022, while also earning IHSA Water Polo Officials of the Year honors in 2012. Glenn and his wife of 44 years, Debbie, have 2 children, Eric and Julie, as well as 4 grandchildren. They reside in Hickory Hills, and Glenn has worked for over 25 years as a programmer, systems analyst, and project manager at Ingalls Memorial Hospital. Joseph Geiger, boys track and field. Competing in track and field throughout high school and college, Joseph Geiger was fortunate to coach at his alma mater, Carl Sandburg High School. After 12 years, the time commitment to continue became too difficult, but thanks to the support of officials like Pete Struck, Don Court, and Larry Rowland, he kept his connection to the sport by becoming an official. Joseph has worked the IHSA track and field state meet as an assistant meet referee, head meet referee, head field events judge, and head starter through the years. Additionally, the ITCCOA member has served as the head starter and head umpire at the state cross-country meet. Joseph has been supported in officiating by his wife Liz and their 2 children, Cammie and Carter. The Geigers reside in Frankfort, and Joseph works as an AP psychology teacher at Sandburg High School. He treasures his time supporting his own children in their athletic exploits when he isn't officiating. Andrew Bergstrom, girls track and field. Andrew Bergstrom was giving back to the sport he loved by volunteering at local track meets when he crossed paths with IHSA head clinician Geza Ehrentreu. Geza encouraged him to become an IHSA official, and he followed suit and was named the Rookie Official of the Year by the ITTCOA after his inaugural season. Andrew has officiated track and field and cross country for the IHSA for 13 years, filling a variety of roles at state meets in both sports, including serving as the head clerk of course, starter, and meet referee at the state finals and numerous sectional meets. The Rockford native works for Autodesk as a manufacturing and simulation product specialist. Andrew and his wife of 42 years, Jean, have 2 daughters, Ingrid and Anna, as well as 2 grandchildren. Tara Dickerson, boys volleyball. Tara Dickerson spent decades playing and coaching volleyball, but stepped aside to focus on her family after the birth of her second child. Within 2 years, she realized how much she missed the sport and licensed as an IHSA official in 2012, as she found the flexibility in scheduling and learning a new role within the game to be energizing. Tara worked her first IHSA regional in 2014 and quickly ascended to work the IHSA Boys Volleyball State Finals, having been selected to work state 3 times thus far in her career. A member of ZONI, she received her first state trip in girls volleyball in 2021 and also represents the sport on the IHSA Volleyball Advisory Committee. Tara resides in Chicago with her husband Clay and their 3 children Lucas, Jacoby, and Drake. She is self-employed and is actively involved in her church leadership, serving as a fundraising coordinator and church council secretary. Joe Meyer, girls volleyball. The benefits to officiating were clear immediately for Joe Meyer. Getting paid to do something he loves while staying connected to sports and giving back to kids made the officiating vocation a win-win-win situation. Joe is a four-sport official in the sports of softball, volleyball, basketball, and baseball, and has achieved the rare feat of working state finals in two sports, as he has multiple state final assignments in softball and volleyball. He represents the LOLOA, DAOA, and Foremost officiating associations, while also officiating softball for the IHSA and USA Softball. Joe is previous winner of the Don Pularski Award, which is awarded annually to USA Softball's Official of the Year. Joe has been supported in officiating by his three children, Beckett, Hunter, and Cade, as well as his wife, Heather. They reside in Springfield, and Joe works as an orthotic fitter for comprehensive prosthetics and orthotics. Joe Fritsch, water polo. When he was growing up, Joe Fritsch's father officiated basketball and football, and it wasn't long before Joe followed in his footsteps. Joe was working T-ball games by the time he was 14 and joined the IHSA as a football official in 1977, and would later add water polo, softball, and basketball to his officiating resume along the way. Joe has achieved the rare trifecta of working the state finals in three sports, as he has been selected to the IHSA water polo and girls basketball state finals on three separate occasions, and also worked state softball twice in his career. He has served on the AOA Officials Association Board for 30 years and has been inducted into the ICA and IBCA Halls of Fame respectively. Joe has been supported in officiating by his wife of 38 years, Janet, and their three children, Colleen, Patrick, and Sean. They reside in Bensonville, and Joe enjoys time on the water these days as he is retired after a long career as a 597 UA pipe fitter. Ray Eichelschulti, wrestling. Ray Eichelschulti has always had a great passion for the sport of wrestling, as well as for spending time with his family. Becoming a wrestling official gave him the option to create a balance for both, and he's been one of the state's top officials on the mat now for over 30 years. During his prodigious career, Ray has worked regionals for 26 years, sectionals for 21 years, and has been selected to work the IHSA state finals on 16 separate occasions. Ray is an executive board member for the IWCOA and also serves on the organization's Hall of Fame selection committee. Ray resides in Fowler, and he and his wife Gina have two children, Denton and Dolan. He is retired after teaching AP high school chemistry and physics for 32 years. In retirement, he enjoys traveling and staying active in activities like golf and pickleball.